What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and we were filming here yesterday. It was like 80 degrees. Now look at this. This is why you need an iPhone 7 with its water resistance in the Pacific Northwest. So yesterday we did a water test on the brand new iPhone 7. Unfortunately, we could not drown it. It just refused to die in the water, beyond what Apple even recommended. So today we're out here at the Columbia again, and I wanted to go ahead and depth test the iPhone 7 and compare it to the Samsung Galaxy S7. See how much depth it actually takes to completely kill this thing in the water. So we're gonna go ahead and sink it in this little contraption at certain increments and go ahead and pull them out, see if they're still working. And I just wanna see really which phone will survive in the water at certain depths longer. And even though they're not meant for this, I still just wanna see what it would take to completely kill an iPhone with the water pressure. How much depth? So the new iPhone 7 has an IP67 water resistance rating. That's a meter underwater for 30 minutes. The Galaxy S7 is a little bit better with IP68. That means you can sink it to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes and have it be just fine. But let's go beyond that and turn our phones into anchors and see at what depth they'll die. And just to show you guys, these are perfectly working phones. This is the iPhone 7 with that 3D touch home button, the new black design. And this is the Galaxy S7 we used since yesterday. Still working just fine. So let's go ahead and put them in here. We've lined it to be soft and that in there. So we're gonna start at 5 feet for about 3 to 5 minutes and see what happens then. Then we're gonna go a little bit deeper if they're still both good. So this water is slightly dirty. It's not your typical clean faucet water that everybody's testing it in. So it's gonna be a little bit more of a real world test here. All right, so let's start with 5 feet first. There they go. Hopefully they don't get tangled or Poseidon doesn't steal them himself, but we're gonna have them sit here for about 3 to 5 minutes and raise them up, see what happens. So it has been 5 minutes. Let's see at 5 feet where they're at. All right. I mean, based on yesterday's tests, I'm not expecting them to die or anything at this point. Seem like they can handle it. And looks like the Galaxy is alive. Actually, both of them look to be doing just fine, but that's just 5 minutes, you know. Drop it in the bottom of a pool, it'll do just fine. So the screens are not freaking out, still responding. Home buttons, everything is still working. So that wasn't enough depth, so let's sink it deeper to 10 feet. 10 feet should do the trick. And I think, honestly, I don't think they'll survive at 10 feet, but we'll go for 5 minutes at 10 feet, see what happens. Back in they go. So here's a 10-foot marker. It's a long way down. So timing it, let's drop it in there. Goodbye. Okay. And that is 10 feet. So let's keep that here. 5 minutes has passed at 10 feet. So pulling these guys out. I don't know if any of them will survive. I think that's kind of too deep already. So we sunk the Galaxy S7 down to like 35 feet before. It did not survive. So I think these guys are about to reach their limit, 10-15 feet, and that'll be it. All right, first things first is the Galaxy S7. I don't even see any condensation inside. And actually, I just wanted to address something. Everybody's been saying, well, the water pressure is not the same inside. Guys, there are holes everywhere here. How can the water pressure not be the same inside of here? Just think about it. Anyways, so look at that. This guy has survived as well. Working perfectly. No condensation in any of the cameras. So 10 feet for 5 minutes, these guys did survive and they're still working just fine. That is amazing. So let's go deeper. So let's move it up to 15 feet. In they go once again. It's a 20-foot mark and right in between 5-foot mark. So that's 15 feet right here. Let's do this. It's a lot of depth right there. Wow. You can't even see it in the water anymore. I think this is gonna completely kill it. No way will it survive. So that's 15 minutes underwater. Let's pull them out. I know what I'm gonna be pulling out. dead phones because there's no way. No way. It's not just me, it's like everybody that's reviewing iPhones. The iPhone 7, they're saying that it is like so capable underwater, beyond what Apple rated it for. So I think Apple was being really conservative when they gave it the IP67 rating, and it's been doing good. Oh my gosh, no way. Look at this. Look at that. So at first appearance, they look like they're working, but let's turn them around. No moisture in the camera lens just yet. That is unbelievable. None on the front either. That's crazy. So the displays are still working. Okay, I'm not going deep enough. Let's go to 20 feet. 20-foot mark right here. Let's go. And they're off. Look at that. That is so much depth here. Okay. So I'm gonna let it settle for a little. And right there, that's 20 feet. I'm hoping this will do the trick 5 minutes later. As you guys can see, look at this depth. If these have survived, I don't even know. I don't believe it. And the moment of truth. No way. This thing has actually survived at 20 feet for 5 minutes. The charging port's completely full of water, and the Galaxy S7. So something is suspicious here. What is going on? Why are these surviving at such deep depths? Should we just go straight to 30, dude? I don't even know. So at this point in time, they've been underwater for a combined amount of time, 20 minutes. That is just unheard of. I don't even know. So let's kill these things. 30 feet. Let's go. Guys, that's 30 feet right there. Seriously, look at it. 30 feet. Okay. So we're not going to have much to go on after this. 35 feet. We have 35 maybe max here. So in they go. That is a crazy amount of rope. Off it goes to where you can't even see it anymore, and it's there. All right, so let's keep it here for about 5 minutes, see what happens. So this is a pretty rare occurrence. They usually don't raise that bridge often. Imagine everybody's going to be late to work, pissed off just because of this one guy had to pass underneath that bridge. But it's kind of rare to catch that on camera. Just thought that was cool. Давай поднимаем. So I'm gonna go ahead and do an uncut video just so anybody that'll doubt me will know. So at 30 feet, this is the 30-foot mark right here. So we're just gonna pick this up, and I'm gonna open it up, show you that these phones were inside without any cuts. If these survive, that is just absolute nonsense. How and why is my question. Okay. So open these guys up real quick. Man, what a crazy test. And I cannot believe they're still working. Okay, I think we got some progress here. So the Galaxy is rebooting. I don't know why. It could be something to do with the water, but I'm not seeing any moisture in the cameras. That's usually the first sign of something going wrong. And Siri is activated. I'm having some trouble with the connection. Please try again in a moment. So it's still alive. They're both alive. So, wow. I don't even know. I don't know what to do now. Let's just drop it as far as it will go, and hopefully these guys will die. But at 30 feet, they have survived and are still working after 5 minutes underwater. So that's 25 minutes total. Let's go ahead and put it in for another 5 minutes at the max depth we can get. Based on my history here, I'm thinking we'll get about 35 to 40 feet, but I actually have to toss it to get some range. So let's throw this. And it goes. So hoping to hit 40. And there is the 40-foot mark right there. Does this river have more for us? Yeah, what we're gonna see is about 35 feet max, and I'm gonna try and reel it in here to get it closer, but about 35 feet is all I got. So for another 5 minutes, let's see if they will survive. That's all I can do here. We really don't have anything else to work with. Let's hope they'll die finally. It's getting choppy. So there's nothing more I want right now than to go home and cuddle up. But here I am filming for you guys out here. Look at this, the freaking hurricane over here. Anyways, that's a 40-foot mark, and that's 35 feet right here in the water, like on the bottom. So let's pull this guy out finally. And I hope these phones are either dead or working. But I just want to prove a point here. I mean, I want to say at what depth the iPhone dies at, but it refuses to. So let's see what we got here. There's just no way. Okay. Galaxy has its display off. And it's not responding. I'm gonna try and power it on, even though you should not be doing this. But it looks like the Galaxy has met its fate and is not responding. I don't see any moisture in the cameras just yet though. Okay, these were fully charged, so it's not about the batteries, trust me. The iPhone though, holy crap, this is insane. This just outdid the Galaxy S7 in 35 feet of water for 5 minutes, and it is still working, still responding. Just seems to be activating Siri for some reason. Maybe it's the water, the capacitive touch home button, something like that. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm gonna try and hard reset the Galaxy, see if we can get some life into it. But I think we're done here. I think the Galaxy is kaput. Not seeing any signs of life here. That's it. When it comes to depth, the iPhone just beat out the Galaxy S7, which has a higher rating. This I cannot believe, guys. So you guys saw for yourselves. I mean, that's just incredible. My mind is blown right now. All right, so I take back what I just said. The iPhone did survive, but not without any harm. Look at the bottom right there. You're starting to see some light bleeding in from the bottom of the LCD, some creep from the water right there. And display's still responding. I mean, it's still working, but for how long is the question. So there certainly is a sign of water damage at 35 feet, wouldn't there be? But at least it's still working for now. So yeah, does this prove anything? I mean, the iPhone seems to be definitely more capable than what Apple is saying. So there it is, guys. Quite an impressive test. I'll let you guys know in a later video how this iPhone does tomorrow, because you never know with water damage. Sometimes it'll survive and work just fine. Sometimes it'll just die within, minutes. Just wanted to do a little update. Just got home after the test, and I just wanted to show you guys what's going on with the phones after, about 30 minutes. So the Galaxy's flash is freaking out. It just keeps going on and off. A lot of the moisture, once we started trying to get the water out of the phones, is coming out from around the camera and the flash seal. So if Galaxy were ever to improve their phones, this is a major point of failure of the water on these phones. So the flash is going crazy. There's a blue LED that keeps going on and off over here, but we couldn't get any signs of life on the display. So it seems like the phone is just tweaking out the internals and stuff. And this phone is getting really, really hot, like scalding hot. I'm kind of afraid we're gonna have a Note 7 incident over here. But there is water in the lens, in the flash unit. It's definitely in there. And I'm still not seeing any in the camera over here, so that's really well enclosed on the 7. The iPhone is still working. You can definitely see more signs of damage down here. So there's watermarks, but it's still working. The display still works down here. You'll notice that the swipe still works down here. The only thing I noticed is that the home button is acting up. It activates the Taptic Engine on a very, very light press. Like, it's not supposed to do that usually. It's definitely different. It's acting different, but it still works. It's just more sensitive. I'm sure it's because there's water inside of there. But overall, I mean, it is working so far. I don't know for how long. So after 35 feet to see this and have the phone still work is pretty crazy, but there's just a little update for you. So that's that, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this test. Enjoy yours if you guys managed to get one. Peace.